Hello my crafty friends, I hope everybody is well. It is Sunday. This video is for my Saturday morning makes hosted by Jill Norwood. The link to her channel will be in the description box as always. Let's get started. I'm going to show you guys what I used and then I'll show you my card. So I picked these up recently, probably back in first part of February. They're from Whimsy Stamps and they are toner cards that you can foil. And so I pulled out my foiling machine and I had some fun with these. I also used this Jaded Blossoms. I used the little button die here. Super cute. I use this for a couple cards actually. I used this die. This is a closer look at that Jaded Blossoms die. So it comes with several different clovers, and there's the little button. It also comes with a border and the horseshoes. Okay. I also used this die. I used this on several projects this week. It's Simon Says Stamps double stitch rectangles. I love this because it's just a great die. It's got some good sizes to it. I used the Sentiment from Colorado Craft Company. It's a 4-leaf clover. I used A Good Friend is like a 4-leaf clover. Hard to find and lucky to have. Okay. I also used my Waffle Flowers A2 layers. This is a great set to have for just your basic cuts. Some green stickles, just regular old green stickles. The papers I used were from this is Knock on Wood. It's Lawn Fawn, and it's kind of a wood grain in different colors. Also pulled some papers from this. I pulled the darker green. This is from Doodlebug, and it's Buffalo Wood Grain Rainbow Petite Prints. And then the last one that I pulled was a pad that I bought last year and never got around to using. It's the Tonic Green Valley mixed cardstock, so it has lots of foil and glitter. I used the glitter in this, but look at that textured foil. That's really pretty. There's also a matte foil in here that I really, really like. See, there's the matte. It's really, really pretty. So those are the things that I used. And I can show you my card. So here's the card. This right here is the foil card. I actually cut the border off of it so I can make it a little smaller. The card did warp on this one, and I think it's because it's so cold in my room, because I actually took it out of my room at one point and placed it under a bunch of books and got all the warping gone. But being back in my room, it's warping. It's extremely cold in here in the wintertime, and we've had some extreme drops in temperature. So here you can see I used the Waffle Flower layers to cut out the glitter paper. I just wanted a hint of it, not too much, not too overpowering. Left the Sentiment as it was. I also pulled out some green enamel dots, and I forgot those. But I think it turned out really cute. Here's the buttons. I filled the holes with the buttons with the stickles to kind of, you know, go back to the glitter paper. And I just think it turned out really cute. And then there's the Sentiment. And I used some of the foil paper again to cut out the little border on this die set from Jaded Blossoms. So this comes with the border, but it also comes with a singular little clover, and that's the one I used. And then I just created a little banner down below. I used a Simon Says Stamps Lucky Clover ink color for the Sentiment, and just a panel that I cut out with that Simon Says Stamps. And even though the card is slightly warped, I still think it turned out pretty cute. I also added another little glitter piece on the back, and I also stamped my tag Made By in green. So that is my first card. So my second card also uses the Whimsy Stamps foilable cards. I also used this die again for the background, and I also used the Jaded Blossom Lucky Clover, but this time I used the horseshoes here, as well as this little singular piece. The sentiment I used is Simon Says Stamp, Say It All Friends. You are truly one of a kind friend. How could I get so lucky to have you in my life is the sentiment that I used. I also used my Tim Holtz embossing folder named Lumber. I cut apart a stamp here by Tim Holtz. It's Noteworthy, and it's THMM162, and it's Lucky is a State of Mind, so that I could use just the word lucky. I did not have a stamp that had the word lucky. I also used this piece right here, which is kind of like a postage stamp. This is Mama Elephant Pika Frame. I use these sets often. They are some of my favorites. The clover that I used is by Whimsy Stamps as well, and it's from the Malarkey, and these are just tiny little 4-leaf clovers. I thought they were really cute. And I pulled out an oldie but a goodie. This is a My Creative Time, and it's called Cute Micro Tags, and that's the two that I used. And they're just really sweet, and of course Emma's dies always cut well. I went through my embossing powders, and I have a favorite from Lindy Stamp Gang. I don't even know if they still carry it or not, but it's called Twilight Bronze. And if you guys can see that, it is a beautiful bronzy brown color, very dark, very rich, and I love this. And this is like Horde Vault material right here, but I needed to use it. I got these little flowers at Michael's, and I used some of these. They've been in my stash for quite a while, but I bought them specifically for cards. I pulled out this paper pad. This is, I do believe, by Michael's Recollections. It's just got a bunch of different colors of glitter paper, and of course I used the brown. Here's a piece of metallic paper that I had that is kind of in that bronzy colored, and as you can tell, it matches this embossing powder almost perfectly. And the last thing I used is this Honeybee Stamps Grain and Grunge. This is just a really great background paper. You can see all the wood tones, etc. And it had a piece of wood tone in here that I ended up using. Okay, so that's it for the materials. Here is my card. I am extremely happy with the way that it turned out. So I used the big die in the background to cut out the glitter, and then I used the postage stamp to cut out the foiled piece with the horseshoes on it. Here's the embossing folder, and I did ink that with a little bit of walnut ink, which is one of my favorites. I also used the same ink on the horseshoes. One is a background layer of just a solid brown, and the other one is a lighter brown. Excuse me. And I used glossy accents on all where would be the nails. Here's my little flowers, my clusters of clover. There's the Tim Holtz stamp with Emma's two dies stuck on it. And I did emboss that. I think it turned out really cute. I love this card. It's very rustic. And then there's the sentiment inside. I used the thank you. I did heat emboss that, even though heat embossing is kind of a challenge for me sometimes, you guys. I struggle with it. I don't like all the little bits that end up on my card, no matter how good I use the static tool. And I also stamped the sentiment in VersaFine Claire. It's called Pinecone. It's one that Misty said is one of her favorites for brown. And I also used that postage stamp again in the background. This is MFT paper. And I can't remember the color, but I think it's chocolate. And then there is my stamp in the back, and then I used another one of those little buttons that I had left over from the previous card and used that on the back there. So those are my cards, you guys. I hope that you have enjoyed. I had loads of fun creating these cards. I don't normally make St. Patrick's Day cards, but it was nice for a change. I have a couple more to do. I'm done with the foiling of the cards and things for now. I want to move on to a few different things, and I have some stuff in mind. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for stopping by, and please go check out Jill's channel if you don't know it, or put in the hashtag in the search box for Saturday Morning Makes. It's satmornmakes is the hashtag, and you'll find lots of inspiration there. I hope you guys have a great day and make a happy memory, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.